Hello Internet, welcome back to another DevPro Duel video. We will be going through the DD combos today, starting with 1-card combos, working our way up to 3 and 4-card combos. I won't go beyond that because 5-card combos and 6-card combos are usually just combinations of the previous combos, used in tandem to create bigger fields and bigger monsters. You don't usually just stop with, say, a 2-card combo and end your turn. You usually use a 2-card combo and then a 3-card combo if you can. So just a heads up, for some of the combos, cards in the extract will be replaced with other cards. So for example, Dante, Beatrice and Minerva will be replaced with things such as Stardust Warrior, Formula Synchron, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, and Red Dragon Archfiend Scarlight. But without further ado, let's get into the first combo video. Hope you enjoy. Alright, let's get into the first combo. It's a 1-card combo. All you need for it is DD Kepler. So what we're going to do is we're going to normal summon Kepler. Kepler's going to search out our gate. And then we're going to activate gate. Now, this is the sole combo of the deck. It's the lowest combo you're going to need. 1 card, it's either gate or Kepler. Both of them get you gate. Gate searches any combo piece you might need for your hand, so it could be Swirl Slime, it could be Lamia, whatever you're missing, Gate can get you. But in this situation, let's say that my hand already has all the combo pieces it needs. It doesn't, because I've disabled Shuffle for this example, but pretend it does, and they have this one lonely back row, and say I don't need my normal summon and I don't have Gate yet. So this back row is Solemn Notice, as you can see, which would screw up a lot of plays. So what we're going to do is with Gate, instead of searching for a combo piece, because we already have all our combo pieces, we're going to search for DD Orthros. Now, what this is going to allow us to do is set Orthros as a scale, then Orthros is going to pop Kepler and the back row, making it clear for us to continue with combos in our hands, so they can't stop it with their back row. This works really well when you have a Twin Twister as well, so you can take out if they set 3, for example. But yeah, you don't have to search Orthros. As I said earlier, you can search for a combo piece you're missing if you don't feel the back row is too threatening. Okay, so next up we're going to do the 2-card combos. See that? It's 2-card combos. What we're going to need for this one is we're going to need Copernicus and any other level 4 DD monster. So it could be Orthros, it could be Baphomet, it could be Copernicus. Bear in mind, if you do use Orthros, you're going to be locked into DDs. But if you don't, you can use any rank 4 Exceed. This is usually used if you have a pretty poor hand and you can't summon much else and you don't have Gate. If you don't have Gate, you do want to summon Caesar, nothing else, because if you summon something like Siegfried or you summon another rank 4 such as Castell or Minerva, you're not going to get Gate, and Gate's going to help you in future turns and in the present turn if your hand's not as great. It can also be used mid-combo to create a Caesar if you need it, to rank up into Tell, for example, and dump a Necro Slime to continue your plays. But how the play goes is you're going to normal summon your Copernicus. Your Copernicus is going to dump Swirl Slime from your deck. Swirl Slime is going to activate its effect, it's going to banish itself and summon any of the level 4s in your hand. In this case it's Baphomet. Baphomet and Copernicus are both going to overlay, and they're going to become Caesar. If you don't have Gate, it's going to become a rank 4 if you need to Castell or use Minerva to dump some stuff to get back with Newton. So yeah, this is a very basic combo. It's not used all that often because it's subpar. The 3-card combos is where the deck really shines. This is for if you have a pretty bad hand, or if you have, say, a Copernicus and a normal summon left over after you've done a 3-card combo. So yeah, so that's one of the 2-card combos. Okay, so next up we have a 2-card combo. It's not really a 2-card combo, it's more of a 2.5-card combo. You need 3 cards for it. You need DD Swirl Slime, DD Lamia, and any DD or contract card. And seeing as our deck is made up of 95% DD or contract cards, it's very easy to have a DD in your hand to use, which is why it's a 2.5 combo. But mainly you'll want the Swirl and you'll want the Lamia. There's 2 ways you can play this out. I'm going to show you the first way here. First way is you're going to use once I skip through the draw phase, you're going to use Swirl Slime's effect. Swirl Slime is going to fuse with Lamia to Temujin. Lamia is going to dump the DD or contract to summon itself. Temujin is going to summon back Swirl Slime. And then that's 1 plus 6 plus 2. You have yourself a Trishula. And then Trishula can activate its effects and disrupt your opponent. You don't want to be doing this if they only have a hand. This is just an example. You want them to have something on the field to banish and something in the graveyard as well that's troublesome. But it's a very good card to go into turn 2 once they've made their setup and you can start banishing things. Usually I use this to bait out their notice if I can't get Orthros or something to pop the back row, because they will want to notice this, and then if you have a combo left in your hand you can go into that combo instead. But yeah, I'm going to get into the second way you do this in a second. Okay, so the alternate way to make Trishula is having Kepler and either Swirl or Lamia in your hand. The way you do this is you normal summon Kepler. Kepler searches you the gate, and as I said, this is the 1 card combo, and it slots into a lot of 2 and 3 card combos. So if you can normal summon Kepler, it normally fits in with almost every combo in the deck that doesn't require a normal summon. But yeah, we're going to activate Gate. Gate's going to search as Lamia. Lamia and Swirl are going to make us Dark this time instead of a Temujin. Bear in mind, if you want to make this a 3 card combo, you can scale Ragnarok, and at this point Ragnarok would revive Lamia, but and then you can make Trishula. But let's pretend that we don't have Ragnarok. We have a random DD in our hand. So what we're going to do... oh, we don't even have a DD. We might even have 3 Notice, which is awful, but let's pretend we do. So Lamia is going to activate, it'll send Gate, summoning itself, and then you have level 9. Easy Trish. So that's the last 2 card combo. Let's move on to the 3 card combos. Okay, so for this variant, you need Gate and either Lamia or Swirl. So what's going to happen is you'll activate Gate. Gate's going to search the missing piece, which is Lamia or Swirl. Then Swirl's going to fuse with Lamia. Then Lamia is going to activate its effect. Now here I discard Ragnarok, but say you don't have any DDs to discard, God forbid, you've drawn 3 Solemn Notices or something. You want to get rid of... you don't want to get rid of Gate, but you can get rid of Gate if you really need the Trishula. So what you're going to do is you're going to get rid of Gate, not the Ragnarok, summon the Lamia. The Lamia's going to summon the Swirl Slime, and the Swirl Slime's going to get you Trishula once you synchro it with Temujin and Lamia. So yeah, that's another way to go about it. Gate kind of opens up more options here, especially if you want 3 card combos. Gate's really useful. Okay, now we get into the real good stuff. 3 card combos are the soul of the deck. For this 3 card combo, you're going to need Kepler, Swirl Slime, and Baphomet. So what we're going to end on is a Dark and a Caesar, which I'll tell you why that's great in just a second. So the steps to get here: you're going to normal summon Kepler. Kepler's going to search you Gate. This is the 1 card combo that fits into almost every other combo if you don't need your normal summon. Gate's going to search you a random DD. It could be anything. The reason that we might want to get Lamia or we might want to get Necro Slime is because they get grave effects, which can get you future plays, which I'll go into in a second. So Swirl Slime plus whatever you got to summon Dark. Swirl Slime's going to summon Baphomet. Baphomet's going to make Kepler level 4. And then we're going to overlay them. Boom, you have Caesar. Now, bear in mind that if you already had Gate and you have a different DD that isn't Kepler, you can send that monster to the graveyard, summoning back the Lamia, and then Baphomet will make Lamia level 4 and you can get a Siegfried Dark combo. One of the reasons we put Lamia in the graveyard is so that we can use Lamia, send Caesar, get a contract search, and make a Siegfried, so you can go into more plays if you have extra resources. If we do go for Necro Slime, we want to keep that in the graveyard for later game, but if it is already later game, instead of making Dark, we'll make a Temujin. You'll go into the Caesar like you just saw, and then we'll use the Necro Slime, banishing one of Caesar's materials that you'll detach, which will summon the Dark out. Then the Temujin will trigger. The Temujin will summon back some other DDs in your graveyard to continue comboing. This is usually done later game. But yeah, that's the 3 card combo to get Dark and Caesar out. The reason this field is so great, especially turn 1, is that if your opponent destroys your field, you get a contract search off Caesar, and then if they're dumb enough to enter the battle phase after that, you get your whole field back, and Dark nets you plus 2,000. If you have other DDs on the field, it can be upwards from there, so you can get 3,000, 4,000 life points, etc. So at best, we're getting a contract search and to keep our monsters. At worst, we get a contract search and they don't get to enter their battle phase this turn, which is a win-win because then we can search something we don't have. Say if we don't have a gate, we can search gate, and gate can be activated and continue our combo. Same with swamp. So yeah, this is a really good field to end on turn 1. Although normally, if you already have gate, you'll want to try and make Siegfried instead of Caesar. In this scenario, you wouldn't be able to make Caesar unless you had something that wasn't Kepler. In which case you can use Lamia, as I said earlier, make a Siegfried Dark combo, which is a lot better because if they were to Raigeki, for example, you can just negate that with Siegfried. You don't need to get the contract search, you already have gate. And Siegfried stuns your opponent hard if they don't have Raigeki. Say if they want to fuse with polymerization or something, you can stop that and they get stunned. So it's a lot better to go into Siegfried once you do have gate. That's just something to keep in mind if you have the option to Siegfried instead of Caesar. Right, so we're back. This is the same 3-card combo that we had in the first 3-card combo clip. We had Kepler, we had Swirl Slime, we had Baphomet, but this one's going to be a Wombo combo, so it's not something you'll want to do turn 1, it's something you'll want to do after your opponent's made a move and you can start attacking. You'll be like, this is where you want to play aggressive. Say they didn't have a back row and you want to push and get rid of some troublesome cards. We'll go through the combo. There's 2 ways this can pan out. One is if your opponent has no monster on the field, and the other is if you have something that you want banished on their field. So let's get straight into this. So what we're going to do is we're going to Swirl Slime, we're going to fuse into Temujin using Kepler, we're then going to use Swirl Slime's effect, summoning Baphomet. Temujin's going to summon back the Kepler. Now Kepler's going to trigger, Kepler's going to search his gate, gate's going to activate, gate's going to search his Ragnarok. You're then going to overlay the Kepler and the Baphomet using Baphomet's effect into Caesar. Now, the reason we call this a Wombo combo is because we're going to do something you won't expect. And I'm just going to say, if this is past first turn, which you should be doing this combo past first turn, do not do this first turn. You'll want to detach Caesar. For some reason, DevPro doesn't let you detach for Caesar on the first turn. I think that's wrong, that's badly coded. You should be able to detach on the first turn. But we'll keep going. So what we're going to do is detach from Caesar, which I can't do. But that's what you want to do. Then we're going to normal summon Ragnarok. And you may think that's a stupid move, tributing 2 big DD monsters, but you'll see why in a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to tribute Caesar and we're going to tribute Temujin, summoning Ragnarok. Now, this triggers Ragnarok's effect, and Caesar's effect. Now, if you don't know what Seagok is simultaneous effects go on chain. You'll always want to put Caesar as chain link 1, and then everything else on top of him. The reason is, if they do have something that can negate a card, such as Solemn Notice, it will not be negating your Caesar. So put Caesar as chain link 1, put Ragnarok as chain link 2, just something to keep in mind when you're in the middle of a game if they do have back row. So anyway, Ragnarok triggers and Caesar triggers. Ragnarok's going to summon back the Caesar, and then Caesar will resolve getting you Swamp King. Now, the reason you want to get Swamp King is because we're going to fuse next. So what we're going to do is we're going to rank up Caesar into Tel. And as I said earlier in my deck profile video, I love abusing this guy. He lets you dump a bunch, and if you can resummon him every turn, you get a free dump every turn. You can also be used more than once a turn, so if you can resummon him multiple times, do so. So what we're going to do here is we're going to activate Swamp, and we're going to fuse Tel with the Grave Temujin. This gets us Kaiser Ragnarok. So if they have 3 monsters, or 2 monsters, you don't want to banish one, you can equip it with Ragnarok instead and make a big push for game, because this guy will do crap tons of damage to your opponent, let's be honest. Say they have a Dark Destroyer and a Tin Can out or something, you can equip the Dark Destroyer, that's 6,000 damage. I don't know why they'd have a Tin Can in attack mode and they couldn't make it, but let's just pretend they do. So he can do mass damage if you have 2 monsters. If they only have 1 monster, we'll go into the other iteration where you just want to banish 1, but this is for if they have 2 or no monsters. So yeah, next we're going to activate Tel's effect, because when Tel's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can dump a DD monster from your deck to the graveyard. So we're going to be dumping Necro Slime, and then Necro Slime's going to banish with Kepler, and we're going to make Dark. And this will be our ending field. We have Ragnarok, we have Caesar Ragnarok, and we have Dark. That's a lot of damage on board. We can usually push for game with this. So yeah, another thing to keep in mind is if you did take burn damage by a contract that turn, because you didn't have Dark out, you can use Tel's effect, which will give you an extra 1000 damage. You can target itself, so you're not really losing out on any attack. So you really only need to do 7000 damage in the turn to OTK your opponent. So this is a very good field to have. So we're going to go through the other combo, which is when your opponent has a monster on the field you want to get rid of in the next clip. So I'll see you there. Right, we're back. For this combo you'll need exactly the same setup as before, but your opponent will have a tricky monster you want to get rid of. I know DD Baphomet isn't a tricky card you want to get rid of, but this is just an example. So we're going to do exactly the same as we did before. We're going to fuse Swirl with Kepler, and to get Temujin. Swirl's going to summon Baphomet, Temujin's going to summon back Kepler, Kepler's going to grab Gate, and then we're going to overlay into Caesar, which will start off our Wombo combo. So Gate searches Ragnarok, like last time. Ragnarok tribute summons itself. Caesar searches for your swamp. Ragnarok summons back Caesar. You then rank up Caesar into Tel. And then in this scenario, instead of fusing right off, we're going to use Ragnarok's effect, tributing Tel to banish Baphomet. This will still trigger Tel's effect, and then Tel can dump the Necro Slime. And from this point, we're going to lose more resources in the graveyard than the other variant, but we've got rid of this tricky monster that we wanted to get rid of. So it's usually worth it if they don't have two monsters that Kaiser Ragnarok can get over. So from here it'll be exactly the same. Necro Slime banishing the Kepler to summon Dark, and then you can use any two DDs left in the graveyard to make Caesar Ragnarok another Dark, or Temujin if you need it. You can also, instead of banishing the Necro Slime and Kepler to make Dark, you can banish the Necro Slime and Kepler to make your second Temujin. If you haven't triggered it, well, we will have triggered it this turn. You can make a second Temujin, and if Temujin's left in your graveyard, you can summon it back via a Scaled Ragnarok or other effects. So you can make Beatrice. It's just other routes you can go into. Wombo combos go in many different directions. This is just the standard OTK version. You can probably find other probably better combos to go into later. You can tell me those down in the comments below, because I always love to find more combos with this deck. So yeah, on to the next one. Right, so this time, same three cards, except Swirl Slime or Baphomet can be replaced with Lamia for this combo, and it's going to be another Trishula combo. I know that Trishula gets a bit old, but it is one of the best cards in the game, and it's very, very easy to make with this deck. This one's going to end you on Trishula with Caesar, which is a lot better because you can revive the Trishula and Caesar if they die, giving you bigger monsters to play with on the next turn. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to use Swirl. Sorry, we're going to use Kepler. Kepler's going to search Gate. Gate's going to search the missing piece, whether it be Swirl, Lamia, or Baphomet, whichever one you're missing. You're then going to fuse Swirl with Lamia to make Temujin. Lamia is going to ditch Gate to summon itself back. Bear in mind that in this combo, it doesn't matter if you do ditch Gate or you do ditch a DD in your hand, because you're going to be making Caesar, and Caesar will be able to search you another contract later on if you do need it. So to continue, Temujin summons back Swirl. You've seen this all before. Swirl plus Temujin plus Lamia is Trishula. We then banish from the field, graveyard, and hand. Swirl Slime banishes itself, summoning Baphomet. Baphomet plus Kepler is Caesar. Now this is combining the Trishula combo with the Caesar combo, where you would you summon Copernicus, dump the Swirl, banish the Swirl, summon level 4. Except this time you don't need Copernicus because you've already dumped Swirl Slime to the graveyard, so you just need Baphomet to turn the level 4 to the Kepler to level 4. So yeah, this is great to have because again you can search the contract again if you do need it. If you have Swamp King, you can fuse using Caesar and get back the Gate. And Trishula's banished 3 cards, making them have a severe disadvantage against you. So yeah, this has been another Trishula combo. There's one more way that this card combination could go, so that'll be in the next clip. So I'll see you there. Okay, so here we're going to do the classic combo of the deck. For this, you will need Swirl Slime, Night Howling, and either Copernicus or Baphomet. Either one will work for this combo, you'll see why in a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to fuse Swirl Slime with either Copernicus or Baphomet to make Temujin, normal summon the Night Howling, Night Howling's going to summon back the Copernicus or the Baphomet. If you do summon back Copernicus, Copernicus is going to dump Baphomet, so basically Copernicus becomes pseudo Baphomet. But the reason that having Copernicus is better is because when he's synchroed with, which we're about to do in this Alexander, he goes to the extra deck, which means you can pendulum summon him back late game, or you can set him as a scale using Yami Makai later on. So what we're going to do here is synchro into Alexander, as I said, setting up your Copernicus in the extra deck. This is going to trigger Temujin. Temujin's going to summon back your Baphomet. That triggers Alexander. Alexander will summon back the Night Howling, and then you can use Baphomet or Night Howling. From here, you can go into any DD rank 4 or level 8, so that's Caesar and Siegfried. You want to go into Caesar if you don't have Gate, which we're going to do in this case. But if you have Gate, you'll want to make Siegfried so you can stun your opponent, which is a lot better. This field is great turn 1 because if they wipe your field, again you get a contract search and you get your monsters back. However, you do get burnt if you do bring your monsters back after a field wipe. So if the opponent can do 5,000 damage, that's game if you do activate Caesar's effect. You've got to keep that in mind. If they can put 5,000 on the board, don't use Caesar's effect. Yeah, so this is the trifecta combo. It's the iconic combo. You've probably seen it in the anime if you've watched it, where Reggie or Declan now is known, I think, in the English version. He makes his 3 kings to crush Yuya. So yeah, on to the next combo. Right, so we're back again with the same 3-card combo, except for this time you will need Baphomet and not Copernicus. You can't do this with a Copernicus because you need to use Baphomet's effect twice. So this combo is going to get you at Kali Yuga, which is great against Pendulum decks because you can destroy their scales. It's great against a person who's set 5, because if none of them are notices and they're all battle traps for whatever reason, say they're storming mirror forces, Kali Yuga will wipe them out. It's also good if your opponent has a troublesome monster effect on the field that'll, say, negate an effect or be troublesome in the battle phase, like Crystal Wing. You bait out its effect first, then you do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the usual trifecta play, which is Temujin, Night Howling revives Baphomet. Now here's where it changes. Baphomet's going to make Temujin level 8 instead of synchroing straight into Alexander, but then we're going to synchro into Alexander, and Temujin will trigger bringing back the Baphomet, Alexander will trigger bringing back the Night Howling. Here we'll use Baphomet for a second time. Baphomet will make Howling level 8, and then we'll overlay the Howling and the Temujin, and we'll make Yuga. Now, bear in mind that you can, at this point, if it's late game and you have a Lamia in the graveyard, send Baphomet to the graveyard, summon back the Lamia, and make Siegfried. And this is a very strong field to have because then on your opponent's next turn, you can negate one spell or trap they're going to play, and if it's a Pendulum-based deck, you can destroy their scales, which is always good. It's also another thing to know is that if you make Kali Yuga, you can make it to get back contract. You don't have to use its Heavy Storm effect. You can get back a Gate that's been fallen into the graveyard if you're really struggling to get Gate back, which you shouldn't be, because if you can make the other trifecta play, you have Caesar, which you can then abuse to get Gate. But it's just something to keep in mind. You can set contracts from the grave that you need if, say, you've ran out of gates, say you've gone through all 3 for some reason, which you should never do anyway. But yeah, this is a Kali Yuga play. I hope you like this 3-card combo. There's multiple ways that the Swirl, Baphomet, and Night Howling can end, but this is just one of them. So on to the next combo.